Hi everyone, I'm Frederick. I work as PMM here at GetAccept.
And I'm Björn. I'm the product manager for our deal room module.
Okay Björn, so what is really going on here?
Action plans. We just released a feature that we call Action Plan, which is a tool to make it easier to buy and easier to visualize a bit more complex sales process, for example, where it's not as intuitive how to get to the proposal part, for example. You need to understand your buyer's problems, you need to get some information from them. Both you and the buyer need to collaborate through a little process. And the action plan is a tool to visualize this process and make it very easy to understand who's required to do what if you want to be able to reach a specific implementation deadline, for example. So this is why we have built the action plan to make this joint operation much more clear for all parties in a deal.
Okay, so Björn, how do you see our customers using this action plan in the most ideal way?
It's all about which prospect you're facing. For example, if there's a very high buying intent to start with and there's a short time frame, maybe you introduce the action plan right off the bat. But it's more likely that you get to, maybe after the first meeting, and you get a question like, what's the next step or how do you recommend we continue this? And then you publish the action plan in your room and maybe walk them through during the meeting the next milestone, for example. So from here on out, for example, we need to understand which other stakeholders are involved in on your department, for example, and we need this and this information, and we will schedule this meeting as soon as we have that. That you will be able to visualize very effectively with the action plan. And then you can also assign them so it's clear who's responsible for what. To make it just easier for everyone involved and not having these dead ends, basically, or lead times, unnecessary lead times.
Okay, so working with more complex sales processes is one of the use cases for the action plan. What other uses do you see our customers having where this could work well?
Literally any project or process that are mutual between the buyer and the seller. We have a lot of customers who use it for various stages before and after the actual purchase. Ourselves, we're using it in very effectively in our onboarding process, for example. So when we have acquired a new customer, we introduce their new users to an onboarding room with a clear action plan on how the onboarding will progress and which steps are inside it and the time frame for it.
Thank you for watching. Björn, before we go, anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, we have a lot more in store. Next up for the deal room is to enable file sharing between the buyer and the seller inside the room. But we also want to introduce comments into the deal room as well, just as we have in the contracts module, to enable these contextual discussions around the content you share with your buyer.
Sounds super interesting. Something to look forward to.